Riff Intro art provided by Jeremiah Gardner.
Yeah.
There you go.
Back to the Riff podcast, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about the world-renowned monument Mythos.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
so
starting
excited.
another analog horror. We're going to review it, watch over
We're
it.
gonna
It's going to
watch
be
review
somewhere
with you.
around here for you guys
Full
to
of
watch along.
spoilers. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen. And if you are clicking on this video, you've probably already seen Wendigoon's little breakdown that he did. I've watched that several times, so like I have a bit.
I feel
of
like you overestimate how many people watch Wendigoons and us.
Well, yeah,
I'm not saying a lot of people don't watch Wendigoons. I'm just saying.
I'm saying a lot of people don't know what doing us.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
hey, you know, if you're here, if you look up the Monument Mythos, his video will probably be the first, and then it will be the series,
And then
it
after
will be us.
several videos,
Several other videos,
that's us.
But I know about the series from Wendigoon. Shout out to you, my boy.
I've never watched it before.
Yeah, I've never actually watched the thing, and he.
This is
only
a
knows,
genuine first reaction from
Yeah,
me.
yeah. The only thing he knows about it is from
He
what I
knows the
talked about.
story, but he's never watched it. So
Yeah.
the visuals,
And all
I guess,
this,
will be...
all of what I know is like what Wendigoon kind of pieced together and theorized itself. So like I guess some of my theories will be biased on that end, more lean towards him because he does like really in depth stuff. So I know my boy Isaiah. I know you got the shit down.
I'm gonna
but-
try and keep. I'm not gonna do it like
Okay.
Vita Carnis because we have a lot of videos to get through in this one sitting. So I'm gonna try and finish the episode, and then we can talk about it, and then like move on to the next one. And I'm gonna try and not pause it at all.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And I only will pause it if I think something may be super important. I mean, it's all gonna be important.
Depending on how our reactions are, I might just cut it to like the end of the video and then go to us talking about it.
Yeah.
Depending on how this goes.
Yeah. So all spoilers. You know what I'm saying?
All spoilers on the table
Shouts out
before we
to-
get into it.
Yeah, before we get into it, on the table. This is created by Manticore. That's their name. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't have his name on here anywhere besides Manticore. So shouts out to you, my boy. If you see this, thank you for providing such a cool little ditty for us to diddle with.
Cool little ditty. And
Thank
I don't
you.
know exactly when I'll put this one out because I do want to try and put out Mayhem Mountain in October. But the week of Halloween, I want to put out 2 episodes. So this might come out that same week as Mayhem Mountain.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
and then by then we can have like the full, at least the full season 1 done.
Yeah.
So that'll work out perfect. This episode is brought to you by coffee again.
Coffee again.
Same coffee we were drinking in last week's episode.
It's crazy.
Except-
It's crazy. We actually waited a week
Yeah.
to drink.
Yeah, I
to
kept it on
drink
ice. Look how much this thing is sweating. I mean, it's really hard to do this kind of work.
Yeah, it's really not good anymore.
Yeah, it's really. I think the oat milk has expired in this, but
Okay, you ready?
this episode is sponsored by coffee. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment,
Go
share,
ahead,
subscribe.
hit that notification bell to see more of us. If you like what you
We
see,
are at 52 subscribers as of the recording of this episode. Please subscribe, you guys. We love you. We need you.
please subscribe, or I'm gonna start drinking again, and it's gonna be your fault, JK. We can cut
Let's-
that out, I guess.
Let's get into it. Ready?
Yes, sir. In 2011, Riley Tillon uploaded 3 videos describing an unseen presence in his home. The 4th video in 2013 raised concerns over his safety and prompted
So 4 videos.
prompted
in
an
3
official
years.
investigation. I have dyslexia. Don't make fun of me. Upload.
4 videos in 3 years.
Yeah.
Many dimensions intersect with our own, several of which are 2D planes. When 2 or more planes intersect, they form corners.
It looks like it's
Entities in
picking
the
up that
intersecting
audio pretty
planes
good.
cannot perceive each other. They exist separately, in their own worlds. However, the corner folk can pass these boundaries and enter other planes.
Ooh.
The corner folk are a trans-dimensional species. They are the only ones who can traverse the corners shaped by planes.
Transdimensional species
Coincidentally,
is
I believe that the corners
wild.
of my home align with several planes, where I've seen the corner folk in action, crossing the corners from one reality to another.
It's literally in a corner.
While making this video, I heard the corner folk and immediately grabbed my camera. This is the recording.
And
This is new to me. I don't know anything about this.
Is it gonna scare me?
Oh, huh. Oh, it's like bleeping through. Replay at 0.5 speed.
See what we got here.
Analysis.
This leaf
Analysis.
requires massive
Anal
amounts of energy
assist.
that, when released, produces bright blue flashes. I have yet to discover the source of this energy, and the reason behind the cornerfolk crossings remains unknown.
The same year.
Cornerfolk
While I
update.
was at work, my cameras
Ooh.
captured up to 12 cornerfolk huddling in the doorway.
Oh my goodness.
I used to think that they had to cross dimensions quickly, but the new footage has proven otherwise. When I'm not around, they take a break from traveling and exhibit micro-movements similar to dreaming animals. They must feel safe in these corners, which suggests that the cornerfolk's own home is made of similar structures.
Fractals.
I imagine that their corner
Fractals.
world is made of many plane intersections, allowing them to move freely without using up any energy. My photographs show that smaller corner folk have odd impressions on their skin, as though they have been pressed against many plane intersections at once. The corners likely belong to a nursery or a crib in their homeworld. A multitude of corners placed in close proximity could be used to secure the infant from leaving the corner world.
Huh.
Perhaps they only cross corners in search of food, the same way we only leave our homes for resources. The corner world may be used to raise young, while my own house's corners serve as
They're kind of
stops of sorts
spider-like.
during their journeys.
Very spider-like.
Very spider-like.
Like the huddle of Granddaddy Longlegs.
Upload 3. This is about 2 months after the last upload.
I've begun to dream of the corner world. I can't stop thinking about it.
Wow. See what I'm talking
According
about?
to the
Fractals,
calendar, I
wedlock.
spend entire weeks in my home. Just drawing.
This is so
describing
different
the
than
corner
what I was
world on
expecting.
paper.
'Cause
Me
we've
too.
talked about Monument Mythos a
I
couple
lost my
times on
job
here.
last month due to repeated absences.
Oh my god. This is
It really
serious
does
for you.
feel like I just left the office this afternoon. When the corner folk jump, it feels as though they're taunting me. But I'm close to a solution. Regardless of whether my body survives the forces of the corner world or not, this much is certain. The fear of my own destruction will not prevent my entry.
And I like how it's. This is a nice intro to the world itself and the parallel planes. That all is very important to it. But I've never heard of the corner folk. I don't remember it being mentioned at all in the breakdown.
It's crazy.
Ooh, I don't know why that.
I'm
Maybe
a-
jump a little bit.
I'm a little bit behind you, I think, but it's okay.
What? They're like him jumping into another. Oh, yeah, there it is. Jumping into the plane between planes. Wow. Ooh. Following his last upload, viewers requested a wellness check on Riley Tillon. The local authorities found Tillon asleep in a corner of his room. A closer examination reveals that his internal organs have been folded along various axes,
Oh!
warranting using his recovery to made origami despite coma.
That did not make me
As
feel
of
very good.
2020, he remains in the care. Sorry, I'm trying to read it as it goes
No,
without
you're good,
pausing.
you're good.
That's crazy. Internally, it's like he's able to see. That's
His
the end of the first episode.
organs had been folded. What?
Yeah, like origami, but it's like how all the planes of existence are kind of like folded on top of each other,
This is
and
the
he's
last
kind of.
August 2020 is the last one.
Whew. Insane.
I gotta give me a second.
Under borders on Kamala's watch, terrorists are in America. Like Nasir Tahiti, who was arrested for
no,
planning
this
a
isn't
March
different,
Day
okay.
massacre. Tell Kamala to kick criminals
Liberty
out.
Lurker is the name of this one.
Liberty Loker. All right, so for the first episode, never seen anything about the corner folk before. It's the first
I
time
think
I've ever heard
I'm
of that.
more confused than I was before going into this.
Yeah.
After watching that first one.
But if you think of it like, I like how they're building it up to kind of show how these multiple dimensions kind of fold on top of each other.
Yeah.
Because it is very heavily like there's so many dimensional changes and I honestly in the first episode and already it's not like anything that I thought it was gonna be. Besides, like I think this right here, the Liberty Lurker, that's gonna bring more into like the monument aspect to it.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, the corner folk and how it resembles like the fractal.
A lot of them look like spiders.
Yeah.
Or like
Very
the baby
spider-like.
xenomorph almost.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's weird.
I think it's very reminiscent of just like the spiderweb fractally, and then
Some of them just kind of look like lumps, though. I mean, y'all will see it up here, but like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, awesome. So off to a good start. I like that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Following audio, and yeah. The most difficult aspect of the construction was the pedestal. Although the statue was intended to be a gift, the U.S. ambassador urged us to follow the President Grant's requests. We agreed, and each month we received varying size requirements for the pedestal. After 4 years, the request to change the size of the pedestal ceased. People wonder why the pedestal is so much taller than the lady. All I tell them is, ask the Americans. See, I was kind of folding into like...
Oh, it's talking about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. In 1949, the Statue of Liberty reservations, the official blueprint behind the changes listed ST-L1 provide the entrance. Yeah. So see how it's like kind of like our real history.
Yeah.
The engine. Engine for what?
Axle.
Axle for what?
Wheels.
What? Wheels?
Why does it need wheels? Entrance. Stairs. Drain. What is it draining?
Yeah, what is it draining? Oh, hopefully me. Waste storage. You see? You see where it's getting at?
Yeah.
See where it's getting at? Sorry, I forget if there's a baby here. During the summer of 1954, thousands of immigrants described a foul odor while passing through Ellis Island. Ellis Island was awful. The whole place reeked of flesh like a slaughterhouse.
What's going on in
There were
Ellis
also
Island?
dead birds everywhere. My sister even found one in the toilet. This is how the coast is, my father said. Imagine how bad this city smells. I remember hearing half-jokingly say that they wanted to return to Milan because of the smell. Their family had to spray perfume and burn candles to keep the stench away, but it would only work for an hour until the air became unbearable again.
Evenings were so hot, it stayed mostly awake.
Even though the rest of the family slept so soundly. I remember looking out the window each night and seeing lines of people being led to the Liberty statue by officials. After they would go to the pedestal, the officials would leave and nothing else would happen. See what it's kind of saying?
Yeah, I see what it's
The following morning it would smell so much worse though, like a slaughterhouse.
Interesting. It's weird how
Ellis
this
Island immigration
episode's...
station closed that following November.
It's weird how this episode's so different from the last episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you see it? You see it coming off the pedestal?
what's going on there?
It's floating.
Did something come out of it?
Upon investigation, local authorities likened the waste storage compartment to a mass grave. If you have family members who were seen on Ellis Island between the years of 1949 and 1954, you may be entitled to compensation.
Word.
I love that.
That's crazy.
I love that. So good, so nice, so cool. Very nice. And it was a short video, but it gives you a big insight into like what's being done with these monuments.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a common occurrence. Things are going to be led into these monuments to basically feed the deities, not deities per se, but like the entities that are inside.
Yeah.
And do you think maybe
I
that
hope this
these
audio sounds good. I don't know how this episode's gonna do, audio-wise. I'm sure it'll be fine visually.
yeah, visually be okay. I mean, I think mine should pick up.
That's what I'm
relatively well
hoping,
on
is
my
that it's
thing.
picking up enough.
And if it's not reading out the thing, I mean, for those who might not be able to see it in the description up here or wherever we put it, that's why I'm trying to read it out. And honestly, I'm not too good at reading, but I think I'm doing all right. But I think maybe now that I know what corner folk are,
Yeah.
I think
Did
maybe,
that help you? Did the Corner Folk episode like fill in any gaps for you? As far
a
as
little bit.
a little bit. Okay.
Now, like what I know of this is like the monument aspect of it, and like
Okay.
kind of like with the you'll see like stuff about James Dean and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So, I
How
do.
many episodes do we have left?
Just
For this season.
Oh fuck! There's 39 episodes this season, 38. But
No, this is from, or the playlist I'm on is from 2020 to 2023. I'm trying to figure out what is season 1. Maybe there's a playlist.
yeah, that's
on
the. I
thing.
believe that's like the whole because
Playlist. I'll cut this out probably.
we go to. Okay.
Is it not split up in seasons?
I don't believe so. Now that I think about it, I think it's
Okay,
10.
well let's do about 10 episodes.
Yeah,
An
10 episodes
for
would be
an
nice.
episode. Yeah.
I think the Washington wormhole and the Delaware double, those will be nice little pieces. And of course, I think there's a
Washington.
break right here. It says, oh okay, so episode 13 is the last of season 1.
It
And
is.
then yeah, and
Where do you
season
see
2.
that?
If you go to the 13, and then under it is the Monument Mythos season 2 teaser.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Cool.
So we'll do 13, the first episode.
Yeah, and if doesn't that like 2 o'clock?
2:40.
2:40. Ooh, yeah, we might only make it to the Washington wormhole, but this would be a good place to stop, I think.
Yeah. And I can cut it. We can finish on Monday, and I can cut it in with whatever we've done today.
But I do think the corner folk explaining that kind of gives me a better idea of what, like how the things in the monuments
Mhm.
happen to work.
Okay.
You know, it gives me a better idea. So we can continue now.
August 7th. It's AJ's
2003.
birthday.
National Park Service finds the Mount Rushmore National Memorial vandalized. Say, mass murder. The U.S. government can't fund mass murder if it's labeled as a national monument. Every day executions occur in 2,600 American landmarks.
Oh, this is interesting.
The blood of liberty will be avenged.
So this is an aspect of the series that I didn't know about going into this. But so people are being killed at all of these.
Yeah, people are being sacrificed.
Ah.
All these. The souls of Lincoln will be freed. The Lincoln Monument has a big thing to do with this.
Oh,
The
really?
Lincoln Monument. It's like Washington, like all the monuments in America.
Yeah, yeah.
Mount Rushmore,
August
More
14th.
2003, more messages.
2 days after Sydney's birthday.
I will introduce infection next week, Monday through Sunday, 10:12 to 10:13 p.m. Watch for the symptoms. Neat. Due to security concerns, the National Park Service assigns patrols for the next 7 nights. The patrols are told to videotape anomalies around that time.
Is he gonna move?
Oh, you see that thing?
What happened?
Something just flew up to the head, flew down from the sky onto the head.
A creature? I can't. I'm gonna turn up the brightness. I can't fucking see.
It's like something like flew down from the sky, it seemed, and went towards Washington's head. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can kind of see something like in the corner, flashing a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder if they actually went there to get this footage.
That'd be awesome. It seems all practical. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not getting this up to. It's almost like it's been changed a tad. Like it doesn't seem the same.
Yeah.
Almost like it's eroding, like the black shit that's on top. You see that?
Yeah.
there's something up there.
What is going on? Oh, is the face? Wait, what's going on?
It's like a creature or something up there. Yeah, there's a good creature up there. But it does seem like the faces are getting like...
Yeah, is the face missing a part of the...
Yeah, it almost looks like it's missing a part.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Remove lens cap.
That's funny. That was like a very real part of like someone who forgot to take...
Oh, you missed it, you missed it.
No, I'm a little bit behind you. I saw it. I just saw
Mount
it.
Rushmore smells just like baby powder nowadays. Oh, remember that.
I know what
That's
that
important.
smells like.
It smells like baby powder nowadays. I think it comes from the stuff that the workers put on the heads. Yeah, I see them do that all the time. They go to Washington and Lincoln every night and powder it like a baby. That baby powder is important to some stuff. It does come back later, and I do remember Wendigoon bringing that up quite a bit. The baby powder has something. It's like the You'll see it. You'll see it later.
Okay.
You'll see it later on, but it is important.
Is it still recording, Bells? Okay. We should cut off here soon. I got an ad.
Hannah.
It'll be
So,
okay.
so far, you see, like, Alcatraz is its own organ. It's almost like
Yeah.
a giant cell.
Yeah.
And it started to like not microbialize, but mitosicize or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's growing bigger,
Yeah.
moving, and it started to take over like the land. It seems now. Once again, like I'm just gathering from what I know about it already, but I think that is insane.
Yeah.
Like Alcatraz Island itself is just a giant entity that's just there.
That's wild.
You know. One day after therapy, my boy, feeling refreshed, feel like I got a bunch of trauma that I just dumped on somebody. Oh, is that two?
That's
What?
what I was wondering, yeah. What
As of
is...
2020, the Alcatraz zone extends to West Texas.
What?
What the fuck?
Alcatraz extends to West Texas in this universe.
Sick. Alright, so now we're on the episode Dean Democracy, right?
We're 5 episodes in.
5 episodes in. What time is it now?
We're about to hit 30.
Do you want to...
But there's a good bit I have to cut out, so it's probably it's probably closer to 25.
No, I mean, the like the actual time. It's almost 3.
Oh,
So
it's
maybe,
almost 3.
maybe...
Do you want to end it here for now?
Yeah, should probably
Yeah.
end it here for now.
Okay.
I think introducing Dean would be... Oh, well, I meant like after we do the
Oh,
Dean.
okay.
Sorry.
I can hit resume, that's okay.
Alright, you hit resume on that. So this right here, in this universe, I think we're gonna put a pin in after this episode, but and like maybe talk about it for a second, what we see so far and like what we think about it. But the Dean Democracy, James Dean, what Wendigoon's his theory on him is that he's like a manifestation of the devil, and I don't know how he got to that conclusion, but I'm excited to see because that's like a whole big part that I personally was stuck on every time I listened to
All this talk about James Dean on the Riff Ranch podcast, that's all led up to this.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We have done a bunch of James Dean
We
shit,
talked
haven't
about James, yeah, we talked about Rebel Without a Cause and how Disney is CGIing his face into another movie that was supposed to come out this year. And a lot of other shit about James Dean. We brought him up a couple times on the podcast. So it's all been leading up to this moment
It's all been
where he
leading
becomes
up
the
to right here,
villain
right now.
of this analog horror.
Shouts out to you, Manticore. You've been reading our minds since 2020. That's about 3-4 years.
You made a joke on the podcast at one time talking about James. We were talking about James Dean, and then you were saying that he died, and his grandma decided that she was gonna start a business making biscuits and make breakfast sandwiches. They're gonna call it Jimmy Dean. And I was like, I don't think
Jimmy
that's how
Dean's.
Jimmy Dean started.
Yeah. Jimmy D.
Jimmy Dean.
This episode is sponsored by Jimmy D.
God damn it. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish this up. This is the long one, so this is a good one to end on because it's longer.
Nice 8 minutes. Dean Democracy, a look back at America's 37th president.
37.
During a program of ABC Evening News,
President of ABC
anchor
News,
Peter Jennings told
told
viewers to look
interviewers.
forward to next week for a special broadcast of national significance. Jennings would continue to remind viewers of the special broadcast over the next 7 nights, even referring to it at one point as the most unprecedented announcement in recent history. A week after its first mention, Jennings reminded viewers of the special broadcast one last time, asking them to pay attention later that night for an exclusive look at the greatest gift to the American people. Due to the anticipation built over the week, over 60 million Americans tuned into ABC, waiting for the evening news to end and for the special broadcast to begin. There were countless theories as to what would occur, from the announcement of alien life to the declaration of an all-out nuclear war. Speculation was brewing intensely. Once the evening news program ended, a black screen with a 10-second countdown commenced with the title Dean Democracy. Some viewers, so terrified of the threat of nuclear war, reportedly experienced nervous breakdowns and ran down the street, declaring that Dean Democracy was the code name for an all-out nuclear holocaust. Yet once the countdown ended, all fears were soon replaced with tears of joy and an excitement not seen since the end of World War II.
What are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home.
And this is
Following James Dean's
a picture of 27-year-old James Dean running for president, I think.
Although other candidates had promised to end the Vietnam War, none had so accurately expressed the same anger that they had felt, which Dean had perfectly conveyed in a 15-second broadcast. Due to popular demand, the ABC Evening News was canceled the next night, replaced by a 30-minute loop of James Dean's presidential announcement. The broadcast was watched again by over 38 million Americans, and the parties continued for the rest of the week.
Good run. You had a good campaign.
Due to repeated assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy, the
about to
Democratic
say,
Party
that's Kennedy.
presidential debates were canceled for the 1968 election season. However, this proved to be no issue for Dean, as polls indicated that he was in the lead for the entirety of 1967 and 1968, despite having had fewer public appearances and rallies than any other candidate. The strength of his campaign relied on the powerful advertisements he directed that would air every Friday evening on ABC. The series of programs would be considered
Almost
by
like
many as another
Antichrist-ish.
weekly TV series, and went on to become the highest-rated TV show on television after the conclusion of Star Trek in 1967. Although a presidential debate was eventually scheduled 2 weeks before the election, James Dean instead invited opponent Richard Nixon to a track
I'm
to
not a
race
crook.
cars on the same night. Although reluctant at first,
Oh, they're
Nixon
racing.
eventually agreed and went to spend the entire day with Dean, reportedly even telling the actor, "To hell with it, I'm voting for you. You're already a better president than I'll ever be." This
Wow.
statement,
That's crazy.
although
That's
only
crazy.
a rumor,
Antichrist.
spread like
Antichrist, I'm telling
wildfire
you.
in tabloids and permanently
Already a
marked
better
Nixon's chances of
president
victory.
than I'll ever be.
On the morning of November 1st, 1968, 4 days before Election Day, anti-Dean groups hijacked radio channels and told
Anti-Dean.
civilians they were fed up with James Dean and that television was ruining American youth. After the broadcast, the groups went on to cut hundreds of power lines in the southeast, effectively preventing any of Dean's presidential ads from reaching any household below Tennessee. Dean quickly heard of the incident, and despite the risk of an assassination, flew down to the south and quickly went to work with local electricians to repair the broken power lines. James Dean would be met with a supportive crowd, primarily younger voters who were eager to see a younger face back in the White House. Elderly white conservatives, often the parents of the
Damn,
younger
bro, if that ain't
supporters,
me.
remained in their
If that ain't
houses
me, an
and
elderly white
continually
conservative?
cheered
No,
their
I'm
women
not trying to see a younger man in
Oh,
the
yeah.
White House.
Yeah.
At the time, hate groups in the South had perpetuated the idea
Ooh.
that
Rebel
he was
with
Satan's
sins.
Rebel
bride,
with sins.
cited his good
Dean is
looks
Satan.
and his
Dean
love
is
for
Satan.
jazz.
Dean is Satan. Dean
So
is
wait,
Satan.
did he still play in Rebel Without a Cause in this
Yeah,
universe?
yeah. He's
That's,
still a director and a writer and all that shit.
that's kick-ass.
James Dean's America?
I'm voting for him. God damn it. What is this? This is supposed to be like a little snippet somebody made?
James Dean is no man.
The Anti-Dean Association. The Anti-Dean Association is gonna be.
I have some
constant.
theories, but I'm gonna talk about it at the end.
The only demographic unfazed by his campaign. Yet Dean continued to travel from state to state, repairing power lines for 4 days straight until the very morning of the
Damn, I
election.
got an ad. Why are there two men in bed together? Why am I getting gay ads? Good, no, it's for Dirty Grandpa, apparently. Zac Efron. Why is Zac Efron in a bed with another man? I'd watch it.
I'd watch it too, yeah. I do what I can, but
Okay,
it's
you
kind
ready?
of gay.
November 5th, 1968, James Dean received
75%
of the popular vote with 395
That is
electoral
insane.
votes. Nixon congratulated Dean in a phone call the following morning, but Dean refused to acknowledge the win and instead asked to race cars again at the track.
The guy! What a fucking guy!
January
He didn't even acknowledge.
1969,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He's like, of course I beat you, dumbass, I'm Satan.
Official Congo Raceway. Although
He's like, what did you say?
Presidential
The
speeches
win.
were typically
Do you want to race cars or not?
15 minutes, Dean spoke for less than a minute.
He spoke for less than a minute.
It's like, I don't give a fuck about the election. I'm trying to race cars.
Speech.
And it has the flotsam that you people expect to hear. But that's not fair. No, that's not fair at all. I'm here for all of you. It's only fair that you speak for yourselves. My words shouldn't be louder than yours. So I brought many other guests to speak. They're just people like you and I. In the same time that many other presidents have spoken by themselves, America will speak. Thank you.
Sound like James Dean sound like?
Is that what James Dean's like?
Proceeded to introduce many groups to the
That's not what James Dean
microphone, civil rights activists and Native American families. Martin Luther King Jr. would also come forward to speak in his first appearance since an attempt on his life 9 months prior.
Oh, he didn't
Oh,
die?
he didn't die in this universe.
With a brief bongo performance and went on to race Richard Nixon at the track.
Yeah, my boy, still racing at the track.
Those who disagreed with the elected president would instead celebrate Dean Democracy Day and
Dean
protested
Democracy
by
Day.
watching Dean's unique
I like
name
it.
on
I
the
like
dress
this.
in
I'm
place of
voting
the
for
actual
James Dean.
I'm voting for James Dean. I'm
A
going
man
to down on the ballot right now.
Man has been dead for
In a
70
televised
years.
address,
April
President
20th,
Dean planned to
1969.
inform Americans of his
Nice.
first 90 days in office. However, 6 seconds into the broadcast, the audio cut out and remained absent for the remainder of the speech. Although anti-Dean groups claimed responsibility and took pride in the sabotage, many civilians claimed that it benefited the president. The silent broadcast highlighted President Dean's sincere facial expressions and lively disposition, as opposed to the stern and stiff personalities of prior administrations. Viewers were proud to see a man in his prime at the most important position in the country. Ironically, President Dean's popularity grew after the technical difficulty, and film director Stanley Kubrick went on to call the broadcast the greatest silent film ever made.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Dean Democracy, a look back at America's 37th president. Wow. And filmed by Alex Kazas. So, I would say that those names are probably very important.
Yeah, so is there more to this? No. Okay. So, I don't think he's the devil.
No?
No, because it almost seems like that's the narrative that the analog horror is trying to push. Is like it's the media is trying to make you believe that he's the devil, and I think that he's like I do think that it's true, and like what we saw, like he's probably not human, and I do believe that, but I don't think he's the devil only because usually what you see at face value in an analog horror is not as it seems. and it seems like it's trying to push the idea that he is the
that he's
devil. And
I think maybe in a way that he's probably like an antichrist figure, or
yeah,
excuse me.
I think whatever these entities, whatever's going on with these monuments, he's definitely tied in with all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I think maybe like considering that, I think some humans might be, or like subhuman or something.
He
like
might
that.
even be whatever these monuments are. He might even be a part of this because he's become so large and so popular in himself that he is a monument.
Yeah,
like,
and maybe
to
he's
America.
like from a separate universe.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
like maybe he is from our universe, and then he came to this one somehow. You know. What
I
I'm
agree.
saying? And that possibility of that we'll probably get into whenever we watch the Washington Wormhole, but.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that yet. We're going to leave it right here. So far, though, what do you think?
So far, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that last one we just watched was probably the best. It told us so much about the universe and what is different from everything else. I think that we learned a lot from this most recent one.
Gives you some keys to like the parallels and all that shit.
I think the Liberty Lurker is really interesting. Like what was going on at the Statue of Liberty. It looked like something was coming out of the Statue of Liberty at the end. And I'm wondering what's going on with that.
They I can't remember what they call them in the story, but we'll all find out together.
I was thinking, because I guess I was thinking about the corner folk or something like that. And like whatever these things are, I'm assuming that's what was coming out of this thing.
I think they'll be like related in some way to them. Yeah. Not necessarily like the little creatures themselves, but
no. It looked, whatever it was, looked significantly bigger.
I think it's crazy how Alcatraz is its own organism. And
yeah, that was
realized
wild.
that there was like it's showing the map, and it showed like the mitochondria.
Yeah.
Being, that's the powerhouse of the cell.
And it looked almost as if it was performing mitosis, and it was like splitting. Yeah.
And then later on, it shows that there's like multiple Alcatrazes kind of.
And it said it spread all the way to Texas.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's insane, taking over the land and all that shit. It's just insane. So far, it's fucking banging.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit this down and see how much of this audio is actually sounds good for an episode.
Yeah.
And depending on how much I edit down, this could either end up being its own episode, or we're just gonna end up cutting this with the next thing we shoot on this. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna see how much I need to cut out.
So here's gonna be our transition into a new outfit and new coffees.
One, two, three. Whoa! Oh. And we're back.
Aspect ratio changing. Incoming.
And we're going to continue with, what is this episode called?
This episode is called Air Force One Angel. Now, reading the description, like I said, always check the description to see what's up. It says, it remains a mystery how the Angel bypassed the anti-burglar doors on Air Force One. The door's jagged sides and sophisticated lock mechanisms were designed to ensure that no Slim Jims would be effective. Which is crazy. You can use a Slim Jim on a fucking airplane. It's nuts. You know what a Slim Jim is? You know, like the thing you pipe it.
I thought you were. Never mind. Anyway.
It says nearly all existing photographs and videos of the Angel were taken at stops Air Force One made during its flight. Air Force One was successfully shot down when it re-entered restricted airspace in Washington, D.C. So, keep that in mind. Remember I was telling you about the Zeppelins and shit?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the video that kind of brings it up.
Let's get to it. Oh. Might have the sound off.
Air Force One Ankle. In August 2003, Air Force One made an unannounced trip across the continental United States. Many civilians claim to have seen the aircraft drop packages on various national monuments.
Oh. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Hit that bell for notifications. And please, for the love of God, show your friends. Tell your mother about us.
I know we just started shooting, but I felt like we just started, but this is actually going to be in the middle, so just randomly in the middle.
Yeah, just randomly in the middle.
It's going to be like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe for more. So it goes from Washington and it goes up to
Wyoming, which isn't a real state. Prove me wrong, you've never met anyone from Wyoming.
I have never met anyone from Wyoming. It goes to California, all the way back over, and now it's at Pennsylvania or Rhode Island?
Yeah, I was going to say Rhode Island. Oh wait, that's over New York. That's Manhattan.
New York! And then it
They went to
flies down.
Timberland's?
They went to Timberland?
That's so funny.
Watch old episodes of the Riff Ranch podcast to figure out
What we're
the
talking
capital of
about.
New York City is.
Watch the first episode of the Riff Ranch podcast. Not on YouTube.
Spotify plug right there.
Spotify plug. What are you looking at?
It's somebody's peeping around the corner. Something's peeping around the corner. Is it one of the
This
corner
is gonna be a hard episode for audio listeners, I think.
Yeah.
There's no talking going on.
Oh, there's no talking going on.
Yeah.
White House officials later. Oh, you see that thing back there? Later
There's something
disclosed
there.
that the unusual flight of Air Force One was unauthorized and unmanned. The lone figure seen inside the plane, dubbed the Air Force One Angel, has not yet been identified by federal authorities.
It was what are they called? The corner.
The corner folk?
The corner.
I think it was a type of corner folk.
Yeah, I think it was a corner folk.
So that's not the Zeppelin thing I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But still, very neat.
I think. Oh, okay. We're at the end of the episode, so I can talk real quick. I think that it's gonna be more like it's kind of setting up almost like Jimmy Dean is Jimmy Dean. James Dean. James Dean is almost like the devil, and there's like these angels that like have been found or whatever. And I don't think so. I think it's gonna be more about like interdimensional eldritch type shit going on.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what I'm
you gotta
thinking.
sprinkle that word over top of it.
Yeah,
we love that.
yeah, we love
Eldritch, Eldritch, Eldritch. Tell us in the comment how much you hate it.
Lincoln.
Yeah, the Lincoln Looker.
I thought I was gonna say Lincoln Locker, but it's the Lincoln
It's
Looker.
the Lincoln Locker. Is it still
These
rolling
are-
for you?
I just paused it when you did. These ones are so short. I feel like we can just finish them and then like talk a little bit.
Dude, yeah,
like
I
we just did.
think we can finish out the whole rest of the.
And that would actually be easier for the audio because it's like it'll just be a straight line, and then I can just chop out and just put in us talking about each one.
That sounds good to me.
It sounds good to me.
Are you with us? You ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Boom. Lincoln Looker. Maya Anderson.
See if you can get that in.
I was a Lincoln Looker for 2 weeks. I was terrified. One moment we were at home answering the door.
The smell was awful in there, and the metal seats was so hot. Cold. Cold. They say cold.
The only thing you can do is look through two little holes. It was some kind of mask, and whenever the sun shined near it, I could see the inside of it. It was a familiar face. Every few nights, straws would be put through the holes, and someone would feed me some weird soup. After 2 weeks, they found out that they had misidentified me, and I wasn't the correct Lincoln Looker.
What?
Reagan apologized to me personally.
Reagan
and
apologized
I
to me
was
personally.
released with some monetary compensation. They don't care if I talk about it or not. No one would take me seriously. Lincoln Looking is just too absurd.
Lincoln Looking. Look at that.
What does that mean?
Mask drawn by Maya Andelson. The Lincoln Looker. It's a Lincoln. Leonard W.
There's
Moreland.
always someone that we dislike more than everyone else. Not usually famous or important, but we've done something that's affected us personally. I've been near the only person who remembers this act. But I've been that bad, but memory hurts. Everyone experiences this, and the president is no exception.
No
Except
exception.
he can do something about it.
Can he?
Every president can choose one person to be a Lincoln Looker. After the alibi is fabricated, the person is abducted from their home, and they stay a Lincoln Looker for as long as the president sits in office.
Oh,
Nobody
shit.
can question his decision, and it's no trial. You might be surprised, but it's nothing new. It's been a tradition. Lincoln Lookers have been around for a very long time.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. So you're like just picked.
Yeah.
And then you
And
have
you're
to stay
forced.
a Lincoln, you're forced. Due to rumors that Lincoln Lookers were imprisoned behind presidential monitors, White House officials publicly removed. I missed it. Couldn't read it fast enough.
Yeah, it was a lot to read.
Wall behind portrait. So they're saying that behind each portrait is also the face of the Lincoln Looker. Like whoever does it.
Word. Okay.
Howard.
Hello, we're not available
It's crazy to think you might have to stay a prisoner.
For possibly 8 years.
Yeah, for possibly 8 years.
I don't know what I just saw. I was at the top of the steps, reading the inscriptions and talking to visitors, when I started to hear a faint scratching sound. I didn't think much of it at first.
It's me scratching my balls.
In the chair, I realized the scratching was coming from inside the marble.
Oh, God.
So I went to a guard and asked whether she could do anything about animals that could be trapped in there. She told me not to worry about it, and that they'd take care of it once there were fewer visitors. A few minutes passed, and the scratching became much louder. I went back to the guard and asked what kind of animals usually got stuck in there, and she said, wild animals. The sound started to make visitors anxious. I remember one boy pulling so hard at his mother's hand, begging to leave. A blind girl with one of those canes went up to the chair, pressed her head against it to listen. Then she started crying. Her parents tried to pull her away, but she just began to hit the chair with her cane. That's when the guards asked everyone to go back down the steps. I don't know why, and it's going to sound crazy, but I felt compelled to help. So I went to the blind girl and joined her in hitting the marble. The guards tried to pin us down, but the scratching became too loud for even them. It sounded like someone was shaving down a chalkboard.
Oof. Just...
Eventually the marble began to crack, and a few more hits caused the crevice to expand all the way to the top of the chair.
Oh.
There was a sudden burst of air from the damage, and the head suddenly turned toward us. I was afraid it would fall, so I picked the girl up and went down a few steps. The head slowly rotated back into place, and when it started to be pushed upwards, I took out my camera.
Oh, wow.
It was no wild animal.
It was Abe motherfucking Lincoln.
Holy shit.
That's supposed to be a visitor, by the way.
What the hell?
Oh, just like the fucking...
Yeah, it moved over like that and it looked like something was coming out. There's something going on there.
There's something going on here. Archivist notes. None. Just says none. September of 2020. Alright. This episode is Washington Wormhole. Are you ready on it?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. The special tree. Oh yeah, this is important.
The forest fell swiftly as the lumberjack swung, except for the special tree, which could not be stung.
Uh-oh.
She missed her friends and the
Hymns
hymns
they
they
sung.
sung,
Tell them.
so she started a tune.
And broke the man's law.
law.
Tell them. Bird! Squaw! Squaw! See, yeah, now they're starting to
What
explain
is
the
that?
timelines. Which is awesome.
What year did it say? I'm sorry.
1840, they found the big tree, right? The first photograph of the special tree is taken. Did I say the big tree?
You said the big tree.
First photo is taken.
They
1848.
It's the
And they're-
Washington
And
Monument.
they're starting to build the
Oh.
Washington Monument around it. Construction
Are
begins.
all of the monuments built around?
Built around stuff like that.
I'm starting to understand the storyline here. It only took a week.
It only took a week. 1861 through 1865. Construction halted due to American Civil War. And remember, visitors come into all these.
Yeah.
And like for some of them, they get brought in and not brought out. You know?
Yeah. Huh.
1888. That's a good number. Construction is completed.
Listen closely.
Visit the Washington Monument and listen closely. Hear the music within the walls. 10 cents per head. Washington Monument becomes a major tourist attraction.
Tourist.
1910. 1910 through 1971. Oh my God, that's 60 years. Well, whatever. I don't know. Probably better, man.
Washington
From 1910,
absentees.
20 individuals disappear while visiting the Washington Monument. Missing visitors are known as the Washington absentees. That's fucking 61 years of fucking Washington Standard Operation. A classified film titled The Washington Standard Operation is leaked by news agencies. Should I keep this up here?
I like.
Am I doing good?
Yeah, you're doing. I like how I'll talk about it at the end. Oh wait.
Monument entrance door. So this is like different than just like the regular entrance to the door.
Yeah. Well, I think the monument is supposed to be different in general in this universe. I think that it's not like a tourist attraction that you can probably walk into.
Okay, true that. Hoisting table, Jesus Christ. I have dyslexia, so suck my dick.
Well, I guess it is because it showed that poster where it said 10 cents a head and it said you could go in there. But I guess it's more of a tourist attraction to see the tree or whatever, you know,
I don't think they know the tree's in there.
Huh.
See, they hoist you up. Oh my goodness, they hoist you up. You hear the thing and then they drop you.
Oh.
Drop you till you're dead. '72 through 2000.
What did it say? The what?
The infection is nigh. The music of Washington will end. The infection is nigh, and the music of Washington will end.
I thought that said bad. I thought it said will bad. I was like, what? 2003.
2003.
We missed the 9s, 11s.
Yeah. Are you telling me we skipped 9/11? Manticore was like, I don't even want to touch on that. It's self-explanatory what happened. 2003, this is footage.
What are we looking at?
The side seems to be opened.
Oh.
And something is...
Oh.
Oh, shit, reaching out. Ugh. What? Do you see that? That's like a parallel Washington monument. Oh, is it hung over?
Whoa! That was crazy.
Oh, that's the fucking... Oh, and the lightning. You saw the lightning?
Yeah.
The lightning creates Giza glass. All 19 Washington absentees were found unconscious at the base of the monument in 2003.
If you guys don't know what Giza glass is, go watch Sweet Home Alabama. That's my plug for today.
So I do want to talk about that one for 2 seconds.
So this is over. Let's talk about it. First off, I would just like to say I like the diagrams that's done for all of the monuments and shit. Like, I don't know, it's very, very well put.
Yeah.
I like it.
It kind of describes how, I don't know, and you notice how it picks you up and drops you, and then I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So explaining the timeline.
That ending was kind of crazy.
Yeah, the ending was nice.
Yeah.
So the tree, and the tree extending and bending over like that in the monument, and also the lightning itself, all of that, along with like the 19 absentees, or right? It was 19.
I believe so.
No, it was fucking. I believe if we go back a sec. Go back a sec. I just want to see.
Check on this.
Because should be something different.
Check on it again in a minute.
20 individuals disappeared, right?
20 individuals.
20 individuals disappeared. But 2003, 19 came back. So that one specific individual, I hope they get into that person's deal soon. I already know kind of.
Word.
I know more of what is to happen. This is my first watch through, but
we're slowly approaching the season finale too.
But that and the lightning and everything has significance, and I'm excited to see what you think of it coming back.
I'm excited. Let's get to the next one.
All right. Ugh. Ads.
Oh.
Ooh, God. I hope my audio isn't fucking.
That's okay.
I hope the fucking. Here, I'll turn it down some. I wanted it to catch the audio of the people talking,
Yeah.
but also like I don't know. Anyway, so play.
Yep.
Delaware Double. Delaware River Journal.
An accidental discovery made by two fishermen has sent shockwaves across the nation. Around 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve, Ralph Grassman and Michael Tilla were reeling in the last batch of catfish when something on the ice caught their eye. It looked like a bighorn. One of those
Oh, I forgot about this.
Grassman, the rest of the two also organized the trip. Grassman walked down the ice to retrieve the hat. When he pulled back the hat from the ice, tumbled back in shock at the sight of a human scalp, partially exposed.
You'll love this. This is really cool. This is really cool.
After a brief discussion with Grassman, agreed to remove the rest of the body from the ice. The effort took several hours, but by 10 p.m., the fishermen were able to pull the entire body from the ice with no further damage. Although both men had presumed that the individual was already dead for some time, Tim exclaimed in shock when he reportedly saw the individual's eyelid twitch. Grassman suggested to immediately take the body home and attempt to revive the frozen man. They proceeded to carry it back to Grassman's apartment. He laid the body in a full bathtub, gradually raising the water's temperature throughout the night to prevent shock. Grassman claims to have learned this technique from a pulp magazine he had read as a child. At 2 a.m. the following morning, the Tilly claimed that an individual briefly regained consciousness and shouted, "Victory or death," while Grassman rested in the living room. By 7 a.m., the first individual appeared to have relapsed into a deep coma, which prompted Grassman to phone the local authorities. And that's why he had to call medical personnel earlier. Grassman told reporters that he didn't want to risk the lives of the first responders. They had been driving on slippery roads in the dark. Shortly after being phoned, paramedics arrived and rushed the frozen man to the Delaware State Hospital. Throughout the experience,
You're gonna love this, bro. You're gonna love this.
The individual's face seemed vaguely familiar. It was only until he pulled out a dollar bill that the connection was fully made. When we first dug him out, we moved his clothes so we could carry him more easily. Clothes weighed a ton because they were completely frozen over. By then, we saw the clothes without ice, and we could have no doubt that we dug out George Washington. Grassman brought the Bighorn hat from the previous days of the Delaware History Museum, where historians consider the authentic piece from the 18th century. The nominations raised more questions than answers, as further research revealed that no Washington reenactors or artifacts have been reported missing. Grassman believes that the man he dug out from the ice is the true George Washington, and the former president had become greatly ill while crossing
Washington
the Delaware
became
River.
unfit for
Grassman
duty.
claims that the imminent death of Washington could have been devastating to the worker. His condition was likely
Washington's presumed death was kept a secret. A double served
Asked for an explanation to why the body had been found so far from the site of the battle, Grassman replied, "Either drifted away or his men purposely planted it far away so that no one could find it." During Saturday's morning press conference, President Dean shared his thoughts on the discovery in 2 words. "I'm surprised."
Me fucking too.
Dude, fuck President Dean, first off. And second, I forgot all about this. No, Delaware River Journal ceased operations 12/28/1976. That's probably important too.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm with President Dean. I'm surprised. I'm here for it. I'm gonna vote him in for a 3rd term.
Hell yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Lincoln Looker. You're staying for another 4 years. Get used to it. Huh? Get used to it. So, that right there, just to take that in for a second. George Washington is a piece of this universe that's just like they just Delaware River.
Yeah,
Fishing the Delaware River.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
this guy? George fucking Washington.
That's
We
crazy.
just dug America's first president, and he's like, hell yeah, I would have voted for James Dean too.
It's like, hell yeah. This
Like,
guy
fuck, you
sounds
guys
alright.
got James Dean. You got Jimmy Dean Biscuits as the president of the United States. Voting twice.
Voting twice. 3 times if I could.
3 times if they'd let me. This is not what I voted for. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, dude, I think that part is. I forgot all about it, and I don't believe that it's like I don't know if it's a huge thing or not, because I don't really remember. You know, like I said, I don't. This is new to me too. But like, wouldn't it be crazy?
This is interesting. I don't know. It's getting weirder and like more outlandish the more it goes
the more
on.
it goes on, you're just like, wait, what?
Wait, what? George Washington.
George fucking Washington.
All right, 3 episodes left for this season, you guys.
Whew. The Rockefeller tragedy. Oh,
This is a
piecing
good-
together.
This
by
one is
Virginia.
long. I might cut this one down. This one's very long.
By Virginia. And Virginia in Wonderland by Virginia. A recollection of the tragedy by John D. Rockefeller. This is very important. During the first winter of the center's construction, the workers would set up a Christmas tree just outside the entrance. It was an uncanny sight to see all the green fur stand in the middle of what appeared to be no man's land. But the tree, humbly obtained with strings over the cranberry buttons and tin cans,
Over the cranberry buttons.
greatly affected, it demonstrated that even the darkest times, American people would light the beacon of hope.
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
You guys go watch the Rockefeller tree tragedy as a part of this whole thing.
So we didn't really put it down here in the thing.
Yeah, but that one was really
honestly, if you ask me, it's one of the more important aspects of the series so far.
Yeah, so Rockefeller got a tree. It took 4 years to de-root and get the tree up, basically.
Yeah.
So he had to choose 3 other Christmas trees for the next 3 years or whatever. And eventually they did use the tree that he really wanted, which is not a good-looking tree. It's just like a fucking stump of a tree.
And it, as he points out later, it's like the tree chose him. You know, he should have been more aware of the fact that why is this taking so? Why is it so hard for us to get this tree? Like it takes like several men trying to chop it down, and it doesn't work. Then he puts 100 sticks of dynamite at the base, and that doesn't knock it over.
Yeah.
So and then in turn, they're like, okay, well, it's going to take us like 3 years to dig it out. Anyway,
and
so it pulls it. It's
long story short, this girl tries to put a star on top of the tree. She gets 10 of her friends together, and they all climb on top of each other. Like, that's fucking possible. And she goes to put the star on top of the tree, and eventually they're hit by lightning, and they're sent to another dimension. All of the buildings in New York, or not all of them, but they said New York looks different. The Rockefeller building
looks different.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why, I mean, obviously it's like an ugly tree, but it's like sentient in and of itself. So like it's forcing the events to kind of happen the way it wants it to. And
they said in this universe, everyone's organs are on the opposite side.
Yeah,
basically.
the children are all like it. She's Virginia. It's the video is a memoir from Rockefeller, 1937, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then the other piece that they're going back and forth with is like a hand-drawn story.
It's like the girl kind of accounting what happened.
Virginia in Wonderland, and it's describing, and I'm pretty sure it will allude back to this little story that she's written. And it shows for a brief second, like she gets hit by the lightning, all of her friends get hit by the lightning, and she's sent to this, like a forest full of special trees, you know, as opposed to like this being the only tree that they've ever seen like this.
Yeah.
And for a moment she sees it, and then she's snapped back to reality or whatever, and it's she's like, oh, okay, well, it looks a little different in here, but it's alright. Anyway, so they take them to the hospital, and like some of the kids, like the parents immediately notice that shit's wrong with the kids. Like some of them aren't dressed the same.
Their characteristics are different.
Some of them, even a few of the boys even had different last names than their parents.
Yeah.
And they, after like some doctors look into it, also Virginia's parents bring up like, hey, did you put your bear on top of the tree? And she's like, bitch, I ain't bring no bear, I got a star. And they were like, bitch, you ain't got no star? And she was like, bitch, I got a star.
That's
they said, bitch, you ain't got no freckles? And she said, bitch, I been had freckles. And then it's like, and then
they're like, what's that shit on your face?
What's that shit on your face? She's like, I got freckles. Anyway, so and it alludes to and Virginia is kind of like, she's, I guess, you know, she is also picked by the special tree because you know, she's kind of more, I mean, I wouldn't say aware, I'm sure the other kids know that there's shit going on, but she's like kind of piecing it together, and she's like, you know, they take x-rays, and she notes that like they're usually pretty eager to show you what your x-rays look like, but they don't want her to know.
Yeah, and the nurses, she's overhears the nurses, she's like listening to the door, and they're basically, they just keep saying everything is backwards.
And there's a piece of dialogue where she's kind of thinking to herself, and she's like, maybe my heart was never on the right side.
Yeah, and she's like
Like,
trying
maybe
to
it's like
figure out.
never.
Yeah.
Like she's like feeling her heart, and she's like, maybe it was never over here, but it's and us, we have our hearts are on our left side,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like a tease to like what's different, and then Rockefeller comes to talk to the kids, to see how everything's doing, and he's asking them questions, and it's almost like he knows that something is going on, and he's the more it becomes more of a reality, he's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I cannot believe I did this. So, and he asks them like simple questions like, who was the president? When was America formed? Do you remember George Washington cutting down the cherry tree and shit like that? And then he ends up alluding to like, who am I? What do you remember about me? And
Yeah,
they're like,
you're an oil
the,
tycoon.
Yeah, you're the rich oil tycoon who built
You're
Rockefeller.
the richest man ever
Yeah.
at this period in time.
And he's like, what? That ain't right, because I'm the president.
I
of
am the
United
president
States
of the
America.
United States.
I'm the president of the motherfucking. I am the motherfucking president of the motherfucking United States. I am the president. Anyway, so they and he's like more aware, and he's like, oh shit, I cannot believe, and like from his perspective in the video, he is very worried, and he recollects like, man, maybe I shouldn't have worked so hard to get that tree here. There's a reason why. And shortly after the incident, where the like colliding of worlds, the swapping of the kids, if you will, they there's a piece of something from Rockefeller Jr. who talks about how right after that whole incident, the tree went missing. The tree just disappeared, and couldn't figure out like where it went. Nobody has ever seen it again. It was almost like it never happened.
Yeah.
But Rockefeller Jr. states that he remembers seeing it, like walking around the plaza, just being in the plaza, existing, walking around, but it resembles a man more than it resembles a tree. Giving that, like, I think the tree themselves, or I mean, obviously they're conduits.
Yeah.
Conduits to it. Also,
But it could be some
and I
kind of,
also
like,
love
corner
too.
folk.
Yeah, the corner folk and like leading into all that, but also to point to rear back a couple episodes with the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument bending over and the lightning struck.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the archway being open. So something was the catalyst for that to happen.
Similar to
the Rockefeller instance. So there's somebody else involved that's being like swirled around, and or moreover, my theory is that it's Virginia again.
Okay.
Going back, because now she's going back, trying to get back to her reality.
Yeah.
Because now she's aware of it,
Yeah.
and she's older. She would be, and which is, so that's kind of like, you see that little like boom, 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 and it being sentient itself, like being the creatures, like the tree itself could be corner folk.
Yeah.
But it is also the main conduit between worlds or whatever.
Right.
I think that was really interesting. And I hope you guys did too. I really loved that. That was probably the most important, the most important video of the whole season so far.
And we skipped it
because it was so long.
Anyway, but I hope you guys enjoyed our breakdown of the episode.
Yeah. It was really good. Really good.
Let's get this next one going.
My Crazy Grand Canyon Adventure. You see? This is actually alluding to another very important character. Me and my brother, Deep in Thought.
This is like somebody in high school made this.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So this is going to allude to like another key group of characters that will further on throughout the series.
Okay.
Very important.
And I saw something really weird.
Okay. Enough bass. See this? Oh my god, this is gonna be it. I see it! So they're just filming. It comes around the corner.
What's going on? What is it?
Something flying.
Something's moving.
Something's flying. It made the whole place smell like vinegar. Remember that? Vinegar. If you say that word kind of slow, it's
kind of troublesome, isn't it?
No comment. Where does it go?
Saw something flying.
Back to the thing.
Rock on!
I like how it was like, hey, that shit was weird, and then back to.
Wasn't that creepy? Yes, Then I saw it again.
Then I saw it again. And then it's back to dance time. Where is it? Bitch, start on the thing.
First off, learn how to focus your fucking camera.
I know it's hard. It took us a couple tries, but.
And you can hear it. You can hear it. That's the sound of the thing. I believe. Anyway. You see it's coming around. It's coming closer. It's coming closer.
What is going on here? What was that? Comment below what you guys. Comment below what you guys think that was.
Oh shit! That kind of scared me. Bonus stuff. Caution! Sheer cliffs. Oh
And
no!
back to
We're
the
gonna
music.
die. Oh no! We're gonna die. Bare knuckle boxing my cousin for some fucking loving. Mr. Squirrel. That's also, for some reason, a repeating character. I think.
Mr. Squirrel. That's
Hey. Main character, Mr. Squirrel. We're gonna fuck him once we catch him. We did a little research and found out what we saw. It's called a Canyon Gillian, or a Canyon Crown. It uses vinegar to shrink its head back onto its body. My dad said the reason we went on this trip was so we can find his sister Maya. Remember, Maya was the Lincoln Looker who was like, hey, this is what's going on.
Oh my god.
I think that was Maya.
That was Maya?
That was Maya, and that's a person with their fucking head off. People with their heads off just chilling. Ooh. Insane. Head off trail. Thanks for watching! My Crazy Canyon Adventure, video by Lauren Arnoldson. Now remember that. Maya's the sister.
For some reason, this was a deeply disturbing episode.
Yeah, it was actually. But, January 2021. So, that, super important, Giza Glass. Part 1, Sculptor. This is the Freedom Faller. Oh, yeah. Okay, Freedom Faller. This will kind of explain what happened with the last one. Where are you at?
Is it actually buffering? Or yeah, no, mine's actually buffering.
Okay, you want me to restart?
I'm on 11 seconds.
Washington. Liberty must stand on the Capitol dome. Yes, I will find an artist to bring the statue to life. Liberty is like the I believe the Liberty sculptures are like the ladies with the swords that stand on top of the Capitol buildings I was talking about.
Word. Okay. Yeah, there it is.
This is kind of describing who's talking to who. Yeah, those guys. The ladies, whatever. Freedom 1, 2, and 3, and I believe there are several different liberties.
Thank God I'm not recording this because my screen just went blurry as hell because it kept buffering. It's that hotspot.
6 weeks later, bitch. Freedom is difficult to cast. Apologies for delays.
My shit is so blurry it was hard to read that.
3 weeks later. Is Freedom on her way? They're telegramming each other, I guess.
Well, that makes sense.
He's Inspector Zaffino speaking. Mr. Crawford passed away. Yeah. Sorry, I really am dyslexic. Mashugana will receive the shit when it gets it. Part 2, Daughter. Text and illustrations by Nina Crawford. Read by Italian student of whatever. Papa's sketches of Freedom are beautiful. She looks like
Papa's
Mama if she
Mythos.
was a queen. I asked Papa if he could make a statue that looks like me. He said yes.
Papa went to the studio today. I asked whether he started working on the statue of me yet, and he just kept smiling. I think he is. Papa is very kind.
Papa's creepy.
We have not heard from Papa in a few days. This has happened before since he likes to work in the studio for a long time, but Mama was very worried today. She left for his studio after she tucked me in. Mama returned home tonight. She went straight into her room. Straight to her room. God damn it. Inspector Zafino came in today. He asked us about Papa and then went to Mama's room. Moments later, more men showed up. Mama was crying. She kept yelling. She had his eyes. She had his eyes. I was scared, so I ran out of the house. I remember Papa telling Mama about how the statue would be put on a ship named Morago. I went to the docks and found her anchored nearby. Next to the ship were some boxes. God damn it. Parts of freedom were in each of the boxes. I crawled into the box that was empty. I hope to be sent to where Papa is. I feel his spirit around freedom. You hear that? You get that? I'm very hungry. The boxes are tied with rope, so I cannot get out by myself. There is a loud noise in the room, like clay being dragged across the floor. You hear ropes being cut and something big coming out of the box. Is it Papa? There are more sounds like wood being broken. Since the ropes broke, I quickly got out of the box and found some bread and fruit in the room next door. And I am wrong. It isn't Papa, but it has his eyes. I'm scared of going into the box again. He came louder sounds yesterday. While I gathered food, I think the men saw me. The box is the only place to hide. The ropes keep being broken by the thing that has Papa's eyes. I am scared either it or the man will open my box, and I will not write as much because I am afraid of making noise. I will write again when I am on land. The thing has Papa's eyes. The thing with Papa's eyes took me today. It held me and it ran through the jungle. Its sword cut hundreds of trees. I could not see much in the dark, but I could see Papa's eyes staring down from me with those metal eyelids. Went down the hole in a deep cave after it let me on the ground and it started to fire away, hitting his arms against a rock. What? Starting off, whatever. It has been sharpening its sword on the rock for hours now. As I started writing today, the thing with Papa's eyes has been looking at me. I'm trying to keep up with reading, but I really am dyslexic as fuck. Genuinely dyslexic as hell. Part 3, Captain.
6 grades of 11.
These grades were loaded at dawn. They're heavy, each containing a part of a large sculpture. And goddammit. Each of the storage rooms allowed enormous amounts of water to enter. Without time, we would have sunk in 3 days. We opened the crates for the custom officers. The crates were empty. Gibraltar. The fuck? Turns force trees.
One civilian likened the phenomenon to the work of a gigantic crazed power. Due to the sheer number of reports and the high level of concern in the surrounding community, I deployed myself along with 13 officers to the rock in search of an explanation. We discovered that there was indeed a new Mythos trail through the dense foliage stretching almost the entire height of the rock.
Oof.
The trail was astonishingly linear, with no bends in the path. The cuts to the trees themselves were precise.
Precise.
The downed trees continued to be warped to the touch, presumably due to the extreme speed of this force. Vacuum files present
crazy. See, these creatures are going up the mountain just like with their swords, just dragging.
Entrance to a large underground cavern. After requesting additional men and equipment, Officer Huntley descended into the crevice.
Got me fucked, ass up.
Huntley exclaimed in fright.
Exclaimed in a fright.
Within the following hour, the majority of us were in the cavern, which appeared to be an undiscovered offshoot of Survival's Cave. In the middle of the location stood a flat stone model of a tall,
Grip of a woman, statue of a woman.
Surrounding this structure were the slayed remains of an individual, flattened like a set of claws. A polar torso was stretched a quarter of the way up the statue, the sides of which compelled a few of the officers to exit.
Oh my god.
The human remains were collected and sent to the morgue, while the sculpture was cleaned and lifted out.
Clean and okay, so how the fuck did you lift it up though? The statue's blade on the right hand.
Present on the downed tree.
Yup.
Despite the fantastical implications of this detail, the Gibraltar police force officially concludes that the miracle of Praise Fella was nothing more than the result of heavy winds. During the second
Results of heavy winds, the fuck?
Oh, fuck.
the translation of its Italian text is in progress.
Part 5, Craftsman. Freedom!
Arrives the tight-knit wooden ship. The plaster body is absent. Instead, a tall, wounded woman sleeping in its vessel.
Is that a titty? Is that?
donning a helmet,
That's a titty. Do y'all see some titty? Y'all see a titty? Comment below.
clutching a sword and a damaged shield. Overheard a conversation with the captain. A violent conflict with freedom at the port in Gibraltar. They tell me inside her is the plaster. And I walk away,
I'm trying to put plaster inside her.
silently believing freedom craved liberation so terribly. She tried to take it for herself.
Oh.
But off the ship, she was dragged away. Freedom locked up. Freedom
And chains.
Locked up, they won't
They
let
tell
me
me
out.
I have to take it out of her. So hook, rope, peel, and pull.
Wait.
When it was done, freedom stood motionless.
What the fuck?
Freedom stood still. I see the final bronze woman, and I feel as if, maybe even hope, she's only dormant now, and will awaken again.
Man. So they ripped this girl out of, they ripped the thing, they peeled the skin off of this lady? Anti-Dean storms the U.S. Capitol. The Statue of Freedom is shot down by ADA gunfire. That's fallen.
So that was the first season of.
That's the first season, yeah. So
Wow.
where you see like the freedom faller by the end is like,
Yeah, that was crazy. That
and
was,
and how the creator, like the little girl was like, it has my dad's eyes, it has Papa's
Yeah.
eyes and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like taking bits from people, I believe, and trying to make itself human in that sense. So
Wow.
like when they found that woman and the freedom thing was gone, they had to peel the flesh and everything off of, basically pull the statue out of the lady again, and it just remained dormant. And he's sitting there thinking like, okay, I hope that it's just lying dormant, you know, like I hope it's just, you know, doesn't do this shit again. And then with the Anti-Dean Association, when they stormed the Capitol building and all that jazz, they unintentionally woke it up, and it just started laying waste to to people at the Capitol, protesters, politicians, all that kind of shit. Just devastated, decimated even. And they're saying, like, as it was going up the mountain, the statues were, that one specific statue was going up the mountain, it's like it's just dragging its sword up the way, and it's effortlessly slicing all these trees, but it's like so much energy from like the weapon that all the trees are still hot, warm to the touch. Some of them are still on fire and shit. And I imagine it as like, it's literally almost like Pyramid Head. How Pyramid Head is just dragging his blade the whole way.
I'm wondering what's gonna happen with I almost said Auschwitz.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz, that's it.
Whatever happened at Auschwitz? That.
I wonder what's gonna happen with Alcatraz and that whole thing going on. Oh, this is really crazy. Like, I think the Dean Democracy was probably my favorite episode so far. I think the one that probably gave us the most was I don't know. There's a couple. We kind of just had like the last couple of episodes are like a bunch of ones that give you a lot back to back.
They really fill in a lot of the dots. Yeah. But I think the Rockefeller, one of my favorites has got to be the Delaware Double, because like.
The Delaware Devil. Which one is
that? The Delaware Double. That's the one where they find George Washington.
Oh yeah, that's just a funny little thing there. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking season 3 must be the Nixon verse, because there's a teaser here for the Nixon verse, and I'm guessing that's season 3. And then at the very bottom there's the Nixon verse 2 teaser, which I'm guessing is probably going to be season 4.
Yeah, and I honestly, I haven't seen anything or heard anything about it in quite a minute, so he's probably currently working on it or whatever. We can figure out more about that when we start to do our season 2. But do you want to do a season 2 teaser? Watch this 30-second season 2 teaser?
I'm not gonna lie, it kept playing and I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was the end of the last episode. It wasn't a whole lot, it just said Monument Mythos.
I love the U being the archway of the chain.
Yeah.
I like how they... No, I guess I can pause that. But really my favorite episode has to be the Rockefeller tragedy, because that and the Grand Canyon, those two are really good together. And it kind of...
I want to hear more about the Lincoln Looker. Like what's going on there.
Yeah. And all that is directly... Like, that's this family trying to figure out what's going on. Like... what were the last names? Arnoldson?
Yeah.
Maya Arnoldson.
They're looking for Maya, is what they said. She's like the current Lincoln Looker, I guess.
Yeah. And Canyon Crown, I think that probably has to be my actual favorite episode, because it's just so fun. The way it's done.
It's so different. Yeah, it's like so somebody in high school who's just like...
It's like, dun, 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 look at all the fun me and my brother had. Also, there's a fucking floating head.
And then it's back to fun.
It's back to fun. And look at Mr. Squirrel. I didn't try to fuck him. And then, that's my aunt's head that's flying up.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, me and my dad said that we're going to come back and try to find our aunt. Ba-da-da-da. Yeah. And then it's like, and I love how it shows the heads off trail. So it's like people go looking for whatever pieces of these the pieces to this puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think they all become crowns. That's what these creatures are called, crowns.
Yeah.
They all become crowns. And immediately them showing you the Freedom Fallers and their sword and everything, all that is like boom, boom, boom. For setting up some good dots, setting up some places, leaving things for us to ponder on.
Well, if you guys liked what you saw here, go check out the full series of Monument Mythos. Go support this guy.
Go check out Manticore. He's got like almost 300,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Honestly, dude, I feel like, let me see. This episode right here only had 26K likes, which is crazy. How many people viewed it? Only 745K, bro. That's no way, dude. This shit has to be more famous than this. I feel like this has so many great beats to it and everything. I'm surprised it's not a more well-known story. I mean,
if you go check the comments and shit. I love I don't know. There's just people like acting like they're in universe and shit. Like there's one right here that says, "If only President Dean did something about the corner folk," and like,
Yeah.
and there's like one that says President Dean, and then it's like in quotes, and it's like, that's neat. And it's just like funny shit like that. There's a lot of people in the comments like just role playing in this universe, and I think that's kind of funny. Not a lot of like lore tidbits there in the comments right now, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what ends up going on with this series.
I'm excited to see what happens further on.
Let us know if you guys enjoyed this, and we'll do more of it.
We'll do more of it.
We're
do a lot
definitely
more
going
of
to
it.
do season 2 at least, and if those do well, season 3, and so on and so forth.
So on and so
And this
forth.
could even become like Vita Carnis, where like when he starts putting out new episodes, we can
Yeah.
start like live reacting to the most recent episode.
Yeah,
I think
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I'd love to
I would
do
love
that.
to. And
But thank you guys. We love you. We
thank
need
you so much for coming
Like and
by the Riff
subscribe.
Ranch. Like and subscribe.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Dad.
Hey, Bailey. Hey, Kyle. It's me, Tank Dempsey in Steve Bloom cosplay. What's up, you beautiful bastards? Hoorah.